This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by State Farm Insurance.
Being prepared for the worst is a good policy when it comes to your home, and that includes having a good homeowner's policy. But what if the unexpected does happen, like it did in Russia last week? A meteor exploded in the sky, breaking windows, spewing debris, injuring 1,000 people. Another meteor passed last week, coming closer to us than scientists expected it to, and NASA admits the agency is currently watching almost 1,400 meteors right now. Well, after hearing about all this, you might be thinking, am I covered if a meteor falls on my home or my car? Well, here to help us answer that question and more is State Farm agent in Delmar, Eric James. Eric, thank you for coming in. Appreciate that you stopped by and talked to us about this. Now, it seems kind of far-fetched. Something falling out of the sky and hitting our car, hitting our home, but it really does happen. I guess if you stop and think about it, you know, we launch rockets around here, so maybe there's a better chance of it happening around here. Let's talk about things falling out of the sky.
Okay.
Let's talk homeowners first.
Okay.
If something falls out of the sky and hits my house, am I covered?
You would be covered. Under the State Farm homeowners policy, the verbiage states that falling object or space debris, you'd be covered. So you would have full protection in that event.
We're talking about anything like from a satellite to a meteor?
A missile, and a missile can even be a propane tank that has, had the end valve broken off and has actually became a missile.
So then that could be something falling out of the sky?
Absolutely.
Okay, so ice falling off a jetliner.
That's correct.
Things like that. All right, let's talk about the car. What if something falls out of the sky and lands on the car? Am I covered then?
It falls on your car out of the sky. Your comprehensive coverage would cover you in the event of that happening. Yes.
Okay, so explain to me a little bit more about what you would consider coverage by comprehensive.
Missiles and falling objects, wind and hailstorm, fire explosions,
right?
Earthquake, water, theft or vandalism, riot, bird, or animal.
Okay, so Eric, we probably won't have to deal with falling objects. There's the chance of that, but we may well have to deal with collisions, especially in our car. So there are so many different kinds of insurance. Start with explaining to me about liability.
Liability.
What is it?
Liability coverage covers your assets, and it covers you in the event that you've had an accident and you've damaged someone else's vehicle. You and I have had a car accident, and any damages that were caused by you hitting me for my bodily injury of anybody in my vehicle,
right?
Property damages for what you're responsible for, defense and court costs, so any lawyer fees.
Okay. And
each state sets its own minimum coverage level.
So if I have liability coverage, that's what I'm covered for.
That's correct.
What we just talked about there. What is medical payments coverage?
Medical payments coverage is what covers you in the event of your injuries in these car accidents. So that's your personal injury protection for reasonable and necessary medical expenses.
Right. Okay. So and this is specifically cars that we're talking about here.
Correct.
Okay. So now we've talked about comprehensive. We've talked about liability. What's the difference? What's collision? How is that different than from what we've talked about?
Collision coverage is back to the example of you and I having a car accident.
Okay.
And you've hit my car.
Okay. And
your liability is covering my car to have the damages repaired. Your car also needs to have the damages repaired, so you would take your car to a body shop and you'd pay your deductible, and then your insurance company would take care of your damages.
Okay.
So anything minus the deductible, your vehicle damage caused by another object, or if the vehicle rolls over.
So a rollover would be covered under collision as well. If I miss a curve and I roll my car, then it would be covered by
collision. That's correct.
And it's important to remember that there's a deductible involved here.
That is correct.
That we have to pay the deductible first, and then it goes in after that. Okay.
That's correct.
So there's such a thing, and let me just make sure I understand this. There's uninsured motorist and there's underinsured motorist.
That's correct.
Explain the difference and exactly what does that mean to me?
Okay, so uninsured would be in any time that someone hits you and they have no insurance.
Right.
Or it's a hit and run where you've had a car accident and they've left the accident scene. And then the underinsured portion is if someone hits you and their insurance protection is not enough to cover the claim. So then your underinsured or uninsured motorist would then pick up minus a $250 mandated deductible.
Okay, so, and the state mandates that deductible.
State of Maryland and Delaware, that's correct.
I got a couple more questions here, but I guess I want to cut to the chase here real quick and say, before I get to those questions, it's really important to talk to your agent because this can get complex in a hurry, can't it?
That's correct. It's extremely important that on every 2-year or 3-year basis, you sit down with your insurance agent and make sure that your coverages are there in place to protect your assets, because ultimately it's our goal to protect your assets and protect your dreams.
If I got a policy a long time ago, my situation's probably changed enough. I need to review it and make sure I'm covered for everything properly.
Absolutely.
Eric, thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Wonderful questions there. Now, if you'd like to learn more about State Farm Insurance, specifically what is covered through basic and what additional coverage you can purchase, go to our website, delmarvalife.com, and click on the show tab. Now, by the way, there are reports that fragments from that meteor that hit Russia that we were talking about a little bit ago are worth 40 times their weight in gold. So if you find one, call me. Let me know. Still to come on Delmarva Life, from sugar highs to baby cries, we're going to share a few parenting do's and don'ts that just might surprise you. And where on Delmarva is Brian? All right, Brian, we are ready for our first clue.
All right, Jimmy, well, here is clue number 1. Ready or not, the town I'm in was once a busy loading point for water commerce. One more clue to go, and then I'll reveal where I am.
But first, if you're looking to buy something, maybe a present for a loved one or something special for yourself, but you've got no idea where to start, go to delmarvalife.com. The upper left-hand side of your screen, you'll find the Super Search. All you have to do is type in the name or the category of the business that you're looking for, and then, here's my favorite word, voila! You've got an entire directory just sitting there waiting for you. Delmarva Life. We'll be right back.